Say hello to the Focal Dimension Soundbar. It's marketed as a discrete 5.1 surround sound soundbar solution. Say that 5 times fast. And because it's got Focal's name on it, you expect that classic French Focal sound. Focal makes great sounding speakers. And I will tell you, it does sound great, but it also happens to be one of the quirkiest soundbars I've ever used yet. Out front, things look pretty normal. You see these little indentations for 5 independent 3.9-inch drivers, and each of those gets their own 75-watt digital amplifier. Off to the far right-hand side, there's actually a hidden touch capacitive control panel. All you have to do is wave your hand in front of it and some basic controls pop up. All of that's normal, but when we take a look at the back of the soundbar in this little connection bay area here, things get a little bit different. Standard connections apply. We've got a couple of HDMI ports. One of these supports ARC, so it'll draw that TV signal down from your TV and also send an output signal that direction if you want. It also has a subwoofer line output, an optical digital input. There's an analog input and then a little service USB port there. But then we get down to these little switches. There's 3 positions for each of these 4 switches. One of them is for the distance at which you sit from the soundbar. So the idea is that it changes the sound depending on how far away you are. Then there's the positioning, and that has to do with whether it's wall mounted or sitting back at an angle with these included stands. There's also a room size adjustment switch, and I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to change because honestly, I didn't notice it changing much. But then there's this subwoofer switch. What's that all about? Well, it turns out that Focal also makes a subwoofer. Yes, this big old thing is a sub, but it's big for a reason. You slide the soundbar right back up against it, and now you've got a stand for your television. That's a cool idea, but Focal put the amplifier for the subwoofer in the soundbar itself. So you connect them with a piece of speaker wire, and this is what they send you for speaker wire, which is woefully short. Not only is it not allow for a lot of leeway, but it's also really tough to put into these spring clip terminals. I mean, this is really kind of a pain in the butt. On the other hand, speaker wire comes cheap, and finding a longer length is not going to be a huge challenge. And also, if you have a powered subwoofer already sitting around, you can always hook it up to the line output. Then there's this remote, which while compact is also easily losable, and that's not a good thing because there are specific functions on this remote you won't find on the touchscreen, so if you lose it, you're out of luck. That it's a quirky setup has been well established, but you know what? It's also extremely versatile. So depending on your situation, I think it's probably gonna fit in pretty well. It's also a very good sounding soundbar. It doesn't do surround sound the way it's marketed, but it is a very musical soundbar. And I think that's where Focal's voicing expertise comes into play. You're gonna be very satisfied with the overall sound quality, and that's really important for people who prioritize that sort of thing. And you're gonna pay for it too. It's a very pricey setup. Without the subwoofer, it's $1,400, and with it's about $1,600 online. So you're paying a premium price, and you're not getting some of the fancier features that the competition offer. But if sound quality is key, Focal will not let you down.